Hello there, I'm the Biz Manager and welcome back to Captain of Industry. Now, today, hopefully, we'll be able to at least start, okay, I'm not going to make any promises, not like last episode, at least start on our industrial area over here, our massive industrial area. Now, in the previous episode, however, we got a lot of things done, like for example unlocking a new ship, new trading partners, and yeah, many other things. Now, we need to kinda grease the wheels over here with our trading partners before we can get the electronics level 2 that they sell. So yeah, how about we take care of that? We have plenty of components, so we should be loading the ship with all of those beautiful things to go and deliver to them, and hopefully they are going to... Tree harvester can't reach destination. Oh yeah, there is that's understandable. These trees are not to be chopped off because you can't reach them. Sorry about that, tree harvester. You can take care of the other trees for me, please. Thank you. But yeah, my friends. Now, given that we are going to get a bunch of stuff coming our way, and we have upgraded our concrete thingy over here so that we can add more components. What? What tree can't you reach? You can't reach that one? Is that it? You know what? You can leave these trees behind. You know what? Leave those trees. Come over here. Chop these ones over here. Okay? Okay? That's reachable for you? Is that reachable for you? Are you sure? Are you sure that you can reach that? Okay, I'm going to believe you. My friends, these workers, they always want some attention, don't they? Oh my lords, here I am trying to focus myself on what I'm trying to say and they constantly interrupting me, but in any case, yeah, we are going to work on this, hopefully because we have a bunch of new components coming our way. We have just dumped a bunch of them to grease the wheels, but yeah, we can pretty much, like, no problem produce more. Especially with the new concrete line over here. This one has stalled because we ran out of water, but we are going to upgrade this line to supply water to that, so it should be okay. So anything else that we need to talk about? I don't think so. So give me a moment while I upgrade this, and then we can move on towards the industrial area. Okay, so now that we have shown that we are reliable trading partners, will you guys allow us to buy some electronical components? Beautiful. Now, let's not raise the price too much, right? In here, there is a technology. Let's go grab it since we are already here. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no. Come back. Because one ship with 470 battle score. Right, that's the same battle score as these guys over here. Two ships with 430 battle score. Yeah, they kicked my butt greatly, so imagine this one with 470 battle score. Yeah, nope, not happening. These ones, yeah, gonna kick my butt, and these ones are going to kick my butt. And so will this one. Okay, apparently the pirates now are all stronger than me, except for this one, so we can go over here and grab ourselves another cargo ship, no problem. And probably some of these guys over here, like these mine. Other than that, we are kinda limited on what we can do. But well, my friends, we have a good amount of components waiting for us, so I think we can start this. So, how are we going to do this? Very simple, we are going to do this factory town style. Now, we can't stack things infinitely, which is, well, shall we say, rather unfortunate. But what we can do is make the belt as fat as we, well, as we want, right? So this is the central area, right? We have 14 storages. This is level number 7 from this side, number 7 from this side. So I think that these two tiles are going to be reserved for belting purposes only. And so the way we are going to do this is quite simple. I just marked it. This was just for marking. First, we can't have anything on level 1, right? We need level 1 for belts to go through the bus, right? And other than that, we just go something along these lines. Come on, game. Not that way. No, not that way. So we put one belt, like for example, over here. We put another belt over here to the side. And then we give one tile of space. Bam. Bam. right? And then we can do this for all of the resources. However, we can still stack these things. So we go like, for example, like this. And then, come on, like this, right? We do this for all of the layers. However, we can only stack 2 at a time, right? Side by side can only be 2 at a time. The reason for that is quite simple. It's so that you can pull resources from the belts themselves, right? So imagine that we had some industry over here, and we want the resources from the 3rd level, from this conveyor over here. We go like so. We pull it down over here to the side, right? And then, like, for example, we want the resources from this belt, right? We go like this. Bam, we can do this for all of the resources that we need. We probably just need a lot of space because, for example, if we wanted resources from the 3rd level and the 2nd layer, we would probably need... Come on, connect that. Okay, this is going to be very interesting once all the belts are built and I have to, like, just move the camera like crazy. Come on, you can do this. Or maybe not, because there is a pillar in the way. But yeah, you catch my drift, right, my friends? It's going to be something along these lines. Yeah, it's just that, given that belts are a little bit finicky, I'm pretty certain that I'm gonna get seasickness a bunch of times. But well, time to set up the basic part first. So, in the first industries, we are going to get what we have over here. Basic components, right? This is, like, the most important part. So, yeah, like the component industry... We are not going to rebelt, right? Because most of the components that we are going to build, like, for example, electronical components, right? We are going to pull the items from the belt and then we are going to rebelt them again so that they can be used later on. However, construction components we are not going to rebelt, given that they are sequential in nature. We are just going to do this, so, except that these warehouses will be... the bus in the middle, all the resources will be pulled from there, and that's going to be it, at least for the construction components. The pistons is precisely the same thing, right? The piston component thingy, because they are, once again, sequential. All they need is additional components from the side, so we are not going to do anything special for that. Now, everything else... Oh, and the science as well, right? These industries that are sequential, we are going to keep them sequential. However, everything else, like the components or the mechanical parts, all of that stuff, it's going to be rebelted so that it can be used later on in the assembly line, right? Now, with all of that said, time for me to start setting this up and requesting some resources. My friends, just putting this down took me a while, and yeah, this is going to be very, very expensive, but well. Now, my friends, we all know that resources are not all born equally, so some resources will have multiple belts, like, for example, iron plates and copper plates. I think we are going to go through those, like, very, very quickly. So I think I'm going to allocate, like, 2 lines for iron, 2 lines for the copper, and 2 lines for the steel. And so this line over here is going to be like the plated resources, right? And I think that at least 2 lines should be enough, but if not, what we can do in the future is just rebelt things a little bit. So, like, for example, if we have something being belted into here, we can cut the line right there, create a new line in our main bus, and then add another entry into the beginning of the line. So we can always change the resources in the belts very easily, at least using this this setup, right? It's not that complicated. But well, time to start connecting all of the things, letting the things get built, and then start requesting the resources over here. Would you look at that? How beautiful is this, my friends? It's still not built, and it is going to take a long time just to get the resources to build this, but oh well. It is almost there, and I can almost imagine all of these lines filled up with a bunch of resources, and the amount of time that I will have to rotate the camera. That much is going to be ridiculous, but oh well. Let's take a look at our components, our pistons level 3. We have 200 and something. Oh boy, we won't be able to make 1 mega excavator and 2 of these thingies. It is just ridiculous, this thing is so expensive. Okay, well, let's build one mega excavator then. Well, my friends, there is one thing that I just now notice. You see, unfortunately, it would appear that the upgraded kiln is, well, how should I put it? It's going to be using, come on, where is it? It's going to be using fuel gas instead of coal. Yeah, we have no efficient way of creating fuel gas, not on this scale anyway. So, yeah, we're just going to put a couple extra kilns over here, and we are going to upgrade these for to level 2 mixers. So that way we'll be able to produce a lot more concrete. Well, my friends, it's still taking a little bit of time, okay? This is going to be far more expensive than I initially thought, but we are almost there at least. Now, one of the things that I noticed is that we kinda have a low amount of steel, so I thought to myself, we have unlocked the level 2 furnaces, oxygen furnaces, and cold casters level 2. So how about we expand our steel line with one of those? Now, I'm not going to upgrade every single one of them, because unfortunately the level 2 blast furnace requires additional things to get the level 2 recipes. Like this one, for example, which is the one that we want. First, it requires iron ore crushed, not the regular ore. Needs to be crushed first, which means it first needs to go through a crusher, like this one, right? Yeah, this is one of the new pieces of infrastructure that this thing needs. Luckily for us, it is a 1-for-1 ratio. We have 20 seconds, 12 crushed iron over there, 20 seconds, 12 crushed iron over here. Pretty cool, right? However, it also needs other things, like for example, limestone. And for that we had to kinda a little bit abstractly build a new line over here. I didn't know this was necessary, otherwise I would have prepared for that. But in any case, doesn't really matter. We have the limestone in here in our belt. It's ready to go. The second we start upgrading all of these, we already have the resources there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just need to find a way to remove the slag, like we have over here, right? And yeah, that's it. So once this one is built, I'm going to upgrade them one at a time. Otherwise we might stall on our production. Now, luckily for us, the oxygen furnace level 2 still uses the same amount of oxygen, meaning that we don't need to ramp up oxygen production to keep up with the level 2 demand, right? However, because I'm going to build a new one over here, I had to build a new air separator, because this is 1 for 2, right? So we would not have enough oxygen to go around, and this one will guarantee that this one will work efficiently, and if we want to expand it again in the future, we have the oxygen available to do so. Oh, I almost forgot about this, my friends. Yeah, in the beginning of the episode I got one of these builds and I never took pay any attention to this thing. Look at the size of this beautiful monster. Isn't this just gorgeous? Now, given that coal is one of the resources that we are going to go faster, I'm going to assign it over there. Can you move from there? Beautiful. Let's go over here and let's take a look at this thing going. Look at the size of this monster. Oh my lord. It can... oh my god, it can dig up 60 tons at a time, which means that with one scoop, it can fill up one of these trucks. Holy Jesus, that's quite the monster. But yeah, my friends, all the lines are now complete. Ain't this a beautiful sight? I think it is. Now we can start thinking about... thinking about once we have the components, because all of this takes red components to build. Yeah, 30 red components, yeah. It's going to take a while. This thing is also very expensive, very expensive, very expensive. But once these are built, all the components will be focused on building the assembly lines over here. Now we pretty much are just going to replicate this thing over here. It's going to be one of the first industries that we set up. However, we are going to set up more than this. We are probably going to have like 10 of these producing basic components. Then we are going to jump probably from... I think this is a 1-to-1 ratio, right? 4 every 10 seconds, 8 every 20 seconds. Okay, it is 1-for-1 ratio. So we can go like, I don't know, 10, 7, 5? Yeah, I think that's a good ratio. That's a good ratio indeed, and that is just going to allow us to build so many more components much quicker. So yeah, time to start setting this thing up. I probably will want to give a little bit of space between this area and the beginning of my line, but not a lot of space because this thing ain't infinite, and unfortunately it starts to veer off over here. Now, once we don't have anything else to do with our debris, we probably are just going to deposit them over here to make this platform a little bit bigger, but that's thinking way too much in the future. Okay, enough talking. So this is going to be reserved for belts, so we have to start building from this side. Probably are going to start over here. Seems like a good location. Oh my fucking god. For real, motherfucker, you're really pissing me off. Alright my friends, just for components level 1, we'll have this monstrosity over here. Jesus freaking Christ, my friends. Yeah, that's a lot of components. Yeah, this is going to be a very long-term project. But yeah, now, as I was building this, I realized one thing. We are going to need to have a electronics plus mechanical parts industry right here on this side. We can't start with the piston industry because we need those components in the belt in order to make pistons in the first place. So, because, you know, that's a requirement, we'll just put the piston industry probably around here somewhere, going that way. Now, how are things over here? Not good yet. Alright, beautiful my friends, the level 2 blast furnace is now operational and we are producing a billion zillion steel per second. This thing is so quick at producing stuff. Yeah, well, so quick. It's pretty much double, but at the same time you have additional infrastructure, so yeah, it's one of those things. Now, we should start producing a few more components because we now have a bunch of steel, which means I can finally unpause all of this so that we can start getting this thing constructed. We're gonna get to level 1 first, then we are going to jump into the electronics plus mechanicals, then we jump to level 2 because the level 2 requires the electronics, and then we jump to level 3 because the level 3 only requires steel, and the steel is still going to come from here. We are not going to move all of our smelting industry to here. The smelting industry is going to stay in place, it's just that the assembly industry is going to move. Well, my friends, my plan has a massive hole in it. It's like they say, no plan survives contact with the enemy. Because, well, you see, you can't build conveyors next to connectors, right? The game doesn't allow you to do it, but apparently if you have a belt side by side, it allows you to make a connection. However, apparently the stuff doesn't flow through the connection. If it's not, yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed with this. Now, I just want to test one thing out. Yeah, okay, oof, my friends, we are off the hook. Oh my lord, I can't believe this. It's going to work, yes. Okay, so at first I thought this was not going to, because yeah, like I said, the game doesn't allow you to build a conveyor next to a connector. Let me see if I have a connector laying around so that I can show you, like for example over here, right? I say I wanted to build a belt from here to here. As you can see, the game doesn't allow me to do it. It goes around the connector. However, apparently if you put the belts first, it will then allow you to do it. Okay, that's quite interesting, I might say. Alright my friends, we are almost ready to open up our industrial area, even though we are not going to be producing a lot of things, right? I'm just belting the final things. This is in fact the last belt. We have a warning over there, I'm going to take care of it in just a moment. I just want to make sure that I get this thing done. Because, yeah, these are input... Oh wait, that's not where I want you to put this one. Let's go like so. Pull this to level 3, and there we go. So these are going to be all of the inputs, hopefully. Hopefully I have enough space for inputs. This was kind of random. I just placed more warehouses than I thought I needed. That's usually how I do things. I don't really do a lot of calculations. I just look at something and I eyeball it, and I always put a little bit more than I think I need, and I end up having always less than I actually need. But, you know, that's neither here or there. Now, this is going to be our electronics component area, right? If we need to expand, we have space to expand, always to the side, right? All of the inputs will be... All the outputs will be stored in this thingy, and then we are going to belt our very first produce of this thingy. Until this point, all of the belts are filled up with inputs, and right now, actually, I only have one belt available, which is this one. All the other belts are already filled up with inputs from the warehouses. Not all warehouses have stuff inside of them, as we can see, but yeah, now it is just a matter of starting to request all the things that we need. Like, for example, the rubber. Now, this is how things are going to work. In the middle is going to be a little bit messy, but all the items will be pulled from the belt. You know, at first glance it will be organized. It's just that if you look too closely, you will see the mess. But if you just look at it sideways, you never see anything messy, and it all looks very pretty. Okay, so there is one final thing. This belt over here is going to bring us the rubber for the electrical components, and for this is a little bit complicated, my friends, as you can see. So I need to see which warehouse is this one. So let's request some rubber, and I think it is time for us to start requesting a little bit. At first, let's just request like a bare minimum of stuff. In here we have steel, just bare minimum. We have the copper, iron plates, beautiful, concrete slabs, and the wood, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. We are going to start requesting a few things, and we can start construction of the components in here. So it's just a matter of selecting the recipe, imports and exports off for obvious reasons, and then we copy it into all the other assemblers. And in here we do the same. Construction parts with all of the imports and exports off, and then bam, 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 bam. And we just unpause things as we need. We don't really have enough workers for all of these machines. That's why they are kind of paused. We are going to start with 4 on this side and 4 on this side, just so that we can fill the belt with a little bit of stuff. Now, these things are not all going to be working at 100% efficiency, at least until we get belts level 3. We are using a overflow thingy over here, right? We are just trying to input more through this belt than all of the machines combined consumes. Because if that is the case, then all of them work at 100% efficiency. If not, then we already know what happens. This splits 50%, this will split 25%, 12%, and so on and so forth. And, you know, the ones later down the line will be less efficient. But once we get the belts level 3, all of that is going to be no longer an issue. And yeah, now we have components being produced, which means we can start working on the components level 2. But first, we have a small problem over here, no mining designation, and would you look at that, I'm already prepared for this eventuality, because I could see it coming. I know, planning for a change. Yeah, now, let's go down a little bit. Like so, let's go to level 4, and then we flatten 4 and try to get all of these resources. Alright my friends, components level 2 are already on their way. It's just a matter of getting the components to build this thing, and then yeah, it's going to be done. Let me just do one thing. We need a warehouse, so I'm placing the warehouse as like one structure of those in front of the others, so let's get rid of that, and yeah, then we'll just burn all of those components and proceed with them to the next level, which is going to be easier because we are going to request the steel, and you know, the steel is just coming from a barn, so we don't need to do any of these shenanigans. Now, this is how we are going to output. At first I thought we could just take straight from here, but you know what, let's just do this instead. This is how things are going to work out anyway throughout the belt, so why not? Here we go. Okay, let's recover this truck. Here we go, my friends. The level 2 components are now done. Let's move up to level 3. We are almost done replicating our component assembly area, but in a much more industrial fashion, shall we say. Yeah, we only have a few more buildings, and we are going to be done with this part, and I think this is where we are going to cut for this episode, my friends, but of course that we are going to wait for this thing to be complete, obviously. Just look at the ginormous amount of machines that we have over here. It looks delicious, I can tell you. Oh, friends, look at this! How cute is this? Holy Jesus, I had enough components, I built one of these and I've completely forgot about it. Look at it. How awesome. And it can carry 180 thingies at a time. This thing can fill up one of these things level 1. A level 1 loose storage. Oh my lord. That's quite impressive. And that thing is also quite bulky, so yeah, I like it. And here we go, my friends. We are now assembling all of the components within our massive industrial area. Now, I'm going to leave a little bit of... I know, I'm going to take care of that. Chill out. I'm going to leave a little bit of space because I know we are still going to get... There we go, components level 4, right? And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So we just need enough space to make pretty much like another one of this in front of this one, right? Something like, you know, something like this. So yeah, after this we can build another assembly area over there, probably for the pistons. I think that's a reasonable idea. Now, I made a small oopsie over here. Yeah, I collapsed the wall. I'm trying to fix it now by dumping a bunch of garbage over there, and apparently I can now fix this. Here we go. So cool. Oops, it was, you know, these kinds of things happen. Sometimes you miscalculate your digging, and these kinds of things tend to happen, but that's totally fine. We can fix it. But yeah, my friends, I think this is going to be it. But before we go, there is just one other thing that I wanted to do, which was connecting the sulfur line to the former coal line for the rubber maker. Alright, because we have this recipe over here. We will not produce wastewater. We get the same amount of rubber, except faster. So yeah, I think getting this one is probably a better recipe, don't you think? Future Base Manager here, my friends. So we have a small issue. You see, this episode was recorded early in June, and it's almost August now, and since then a few patches have elapsed. We started playing this game at 0.4.1, and now we are closing in on 0.4.8. And because, well, I didn't accompany the patches, I went from 0.1 straight to 0.7 point D. A few things have broken out, and the game is a tad bit shall we say, a little bit messy. Nothing major, it's still playable, but at the same time, I don't know. I was wondering, maybe we should start again in a new map. Maybe, I don't know, I should just punch through it. Or just put it in the shelf and wait until the game is a little bit more complete and then give it another try. I will have to think about it a little bit, but please let me know what you think about this. Now, back to the last and final cut. Alright, so here we go. We are going to mix a little bit the sulfur and the coal, but that's totally fine as long as we have the both of the recipes. The rubber makers will clean the rest of the coal out of the line, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, my friends, plenty of upgrades in this episode, and the major upgrade that we got, right, this one over here, is going to allow us to start building like crazy. As long as we can supply all of the resources that we need, yeah, we can just create items so rapidly, it's not even funny. We are going to get so much in storage that we will be able to just build infinite amounts of stuff. But the expansion of our industrial line will have to come in the next episode, my friends. I think this one is already rolling pretty long, so I think we'll stay in here. And with all of this said, my friends, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode and that you are enjoying the series so far. If you are, please consider subscribing and help the channel grow. But in the meantime, this is the Base Manager signing out. Bye bye.